Today we continue Four Noble Truths. First, we need to recite the Pali. Open the book. Page Dukkha Ariya Sija, the Noble Truth of Suffering. Can you follow me? Idang Kobana Bhikkhave Dukkha Ariya Sija Jativi Dukkha Jaravi Dukkha Vyadivi Dukkha Maranambi Dukkha Abhiyehi Sambhyaga Dukkha Piyehi Vibhyaga Dukkha Yam Pejana Lavati Dambi Dukkha Sanketena Pinju Pada Nekhanda Dukkha. To recite together. Idang Govana Bhikkhave Dukkha Riya Sijam Jativi Dukkha Jaravi Dukkha Yadivi Dukkha Maranambi Dukkha Abhiyehi Sambhyaga Dukkha Piyehi Vibhyaga Dukkha Yam Pejana Lavati Dambi Dukkha Sanketena Pinju Pada Nekhanda Dukkha. Again. Idang Govana Bhikkhave Dukkha Riya Sijam Jativi Dukkha Jaravi Dukkha Vyadivi Dukkha Maranambi Dukkha Abhiyehi Sambhyaga Dukkha Piyehi Vibhyaga Dukkha Yam Pejana Lavati Dambi Dukkha Sanketena Pinju Pada Nekhanda Dukkha. Translation, follow me. Now this bhikkhus is the noble truth of suffering. Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, illness is suffering, death is suffering. Union with what is displeasing is suffering. Separation from what is pleasing is suffering. Not to get what one wants is suffering. In brief, the five aggregates subject to clinging are suffering. Can you read one time? Now these bhikkhus is the noble truth of suffering. The truth Buddha taught was discovered by himself through his own insight knowledge. The Four Noble Truths he taught with their definition had been gained through his superior penetrative insight knowledge developed by following the middle path. otherwise called the Noble Eightfold Path, which leads to higher knowledge, producing penetrative insight. So the Four Noble Truths are Dukkha Sacca, the truth of suffering, Samudaya Sacca, the truth of the origin of suffering, Nirodha Sacca, the truth of the cessations of suffering, Magga Sacca, the truth of the path or the way leading to the cessations of suffering. It is most essential to know these Four Noble Truths. Only with the understanding of the truth of suffering, suffering may be avoided, for which the cause of suffering must also be known. Again, in order to achieve cessations of suffering, there must be knowledge of what constitutes real cessations of suffering. Finally, the extensions of suffering cannot be brought about without knowledge of the practical way of accomplishing it. So knowledge of the Four Truths is very essential. Having come upon these four essential truths, Buddha enumerated them in their sequence. The first truth dealt with was truth of suffering. Chatividoka, new becoming, rebirth is suffering. Number two, Jara, getting old, aging. Number three, Marana, death. Number four, sorrow. Number five, lamentation. Number six, physical pain. Number seven, grief. Number eight, despair. Number nine, association with hateful ones. Number 10, separation from loved one. 11, not getting what one wants. And the last one is the five aggregates subject to clinging. So altogether, 12 kinds of suffering. It is important to understand the meanings of the words. Dukkha is translated as suffering, but suffering does not cover all the shades of meaning possessed by the word dukkha. There are many meanings of do and there are many meanings of ka. In the Visuddhimagga, do is given as despicable or vile, and ka means empty. Something that is despicable and something that is empty is called dukkha. Why is it despicable? Because it is the cause of all dangers and suffering. It is empty, it is empty of an everlasting entity. It is empty of beauty. It is empty of lustiness. It is empty of pleasure. So it is called dukkha. So in this sense, dukkha means something which is despicable and at the same time which is empty. And the other meaning of dukkha is something that is difficult to endure or something that is difficult to bear. So this meaning makes more sense for us because whenever we hear the word dukkha, we understand some kinds of pain or suffering. As you know, even what we call happiness is according to the analysis of the Buddha, happiness is dukkha. So we will understand the word dukkha as something despicable and empty or something difficult to endure. So there are 12 kinds of dukkha, jatipi dukkha, etc. Jati, suffering of new becoming, suffering of rebirth. By new becoming is meant the dissolutions of nama-rupa, mind and matter, at the last moments in the last existence, and after death, the first moment of genesis of new Namarupa, mind and matter in the new existence as conditioned by our karma. The first genesis serving as a connecting link with the past life is called Patisandhi, linking conception in the initial formation of fresh Namarupa, mind and matter. So suffering may be classified under 7 categories. The first one is dukkha. Bodily pain, aches, and discomfort are a form of suffering, and worry, misery, unhappiness, and sadness are another form. So these two forms combine to make the first type of suffering, dukkha. Its nature is suffering, its name is suffering. So it is dukkha, intrinsic suffering, dreaded by all sentient beings. And number 2 is viparinama dukkha, suffering because of change, pleasurable physical sensation arising from agreeable tactile impression, known as kayika sukha, joyful state of mind arising from reviewing pleasant sense object is known as Chitisika Sukha. These state of happiness please everyone, every creature. All beings go after these two happy states, day and night, even to the extent of their extent of risking their lives. When these happiness are attained, their happiness knows no bound. Nevertheless, while they are rejoicing with blissful contentment, if the sense object disappears or gets destroyed, there comes great agitation followed by intense distress. And the wealth people have accumulated in the form of gold, money, and property are lost through one reason or another. When death comes or separation comes to their beloved members of the family, spouse or children, intense grief and distress ensue. It may even cause mental derangement. So these two forms of happiness are also called suffering. Viprinama dukkha, suffering because of change. While they last, they may appear very enjoyable, only to be replaced by extreme grief and despair when they vanish. And number 3 is sankhara dukkha. Equanimous feeling and namarupa formation of mundane sphere are called sankhara dukkha. Another dukkha is pradikshana dukkha. Physical ailments such as earache, toothache, headache, flatulence, and mental affliction arising out of unfulfilled desire, burning rage, disappointment, miseries, and worries. They are called concealed suffering. Because they are known only to the suffering individual and become known to others only when intimidated by them. As such, suffering is not openly evident. It is also called unevident, non-apparent suffering, apagata dukkha. Another suffering is apadejana dukkha. Physical afflictions such as from shortcuts, bullet wound is not hidden but quite apparent and openly evident. So it is called exposed suffering or evident suffering. Another one is priyaya dukkha. All formations of namarupa, mind and matter, which can give rise to physical and mental affliction, are not in essence suffering, but as they are the basic of suffering of one form or another, they are known as priyaya dukkha. Quite dreadful in view of the suffering which will surely arise from them. So as in the example just given, it is dreadful like giving one guarantee to a transaction by signing a bond for which recompensation has to be made later. Another one is nipriyaya dukkha. The dukkha type of suffering is intrinsic. There is no beating about the bush as to its action, so it is known as direct suffering or nipriyaya dukkha. So of the 7 types of suffering, jati, rebirth, or taking birth in a new existence, comes under priyaya dukkha. So all kinds of suffering in hell, in harem, subjection to millions of years, incineration by hellfire, torture by the hell keepers, arise because of birth in hell as a sequence of their past unwholesome karma. And all kinds of suffering in the realms of hungry ghosts such as starvation, scorching fire, for millions and millions of years arise because of jati, rebirth in that hungry ghost realm as a consequence of their unwholesome karma. Hardship and trouble in the animal kingdom suffered by animals such as cattle, elephant, horse, dog, pig, chicken, bird, goats, sheep, insects, etc. arise because they happen to take jati, but in animal existence. And let us see our human misery. Human misery characterized by scarcity of essential for living, such as food, clothing, lodging, etc., is brought about by the fact of taking birth in their human existence. Even when well provided for, as in the case of rich people, there is no escape from suffering inflicted on them in the form of physical and mental distress due to sickness and disease or unfulfilled desire, fear of oppression by the enemies, aging, etc. All these misery come about because of jati, because of rebirth in the human world. Being thus the foundation for all the suffering that ensue throughout the whole span of life, taking birth in a particular existence, jati, rebirth, is regarded as dukkha, suffering. So let us see misery in our mother's womb. When you take conception in your mother womb, you come into being in the disgusting womb, which is situated between the stomach, filled with undigested food, and the rectum, this receptacle for excreta, feces, and urine. Depending on your body substance, on your parents' sperm and blood, very loathsome indeed. The thoughts of having to stay in the filthy mass of the sperm and blood is nauseating. And there is no knowing whether you have descended into a human womb or womb of a cow or a dog. A Dhamma teacher used to recite a verse, Dhamma cradle, Amara cradle, in the course of his sermons. The verse gave a description of various kinds of cradle, ranging from emerald-studded golden cradle for royal infants to the miserable wicker baskets of poverty-stricken families. In one stanza of the verse was query, aging is gradually creeping. For which cradle are you heading? This question is quite suitable since after aging, finally death comes. And if our craving still remains, death will inevitably be followed by rebirth in a new existence. Even if we are reborn in the human plane, we are bound to start life in one cradle or another. The question is, which kinds of cradle? A marble-studded golden cradle awaits those people with abundance of wholesome karma, meritorious deeds. Those people burdened with unwholesome karma, we head straight for a wicker basket in a wretched home. The verse was an exhortation urging people to do meritorious deeds for assurance of a high-class cradle in their next existence. So we would also ask you just to ponder a while on the question of which mother womb you are destined to, and to become mindful of the dreadful suffering attendant upon birth, and work for the cessations of cycles of suffering. Even if you cannot strive for complete liberation yet, at least endeavor for security against lowly destination. Now what we have described is how one is faced with dreadful suffering of rebirth from the moment of descent into the mother's womb. Then during the period of gestation for 9 or 10 months, other suffering follow. When the mother suddenly moves, sit down or stand up, extreme suffering one undergoes is like a kid being whirled round by a drunkard or a snake young falling into the hands of the snake charmer. The young creatures in the womb of a mother, which much given to athletics exercises, is likely to be subjected to more intense suffering. When the mother happens to drink something cold or swallow anything hot or citric acid, his or her suffering becomes a real torture. In addition, it is said that obstetric pain of a mother as childbirth could be so excruciating as to prove even fatal. And the child agony could be no less and could prove fatal too. The pain that arises after birth when his delicate body is taken in by rough hands, washed and rubbed with rough clothes, is like scraping the sore spot of a very tender wound. The pains relate to suffering gone through from the moments of conception to the time of birth. Thereafter, there will come, of course, be distress and discomfort, such as stiffness, heat, cold, itch, why he is still too young to alleviate them himself. by changing our postures through moving, shaking, sitting, and standing. Innumerable difficulties are bound to follow when he grows up and comes face to face with the problems of earning a living. He will become subjected to disease and sickness, maltreatment and oppression by others. One goes through all these suffering simply because one happens to take a new existence. Accordingly, jati, rebirth, being the foundations of all misery of the whole existence, is defined as dukkha by the Buddha. A careful consideration will confirm the accuracy of this definition. Rebirth is really dreadful, like signing a document which will later give rise to complication. So jati, rebirth is dukkha because of its dreadfulness. To summarize, the physical and mental affliction are occasioned because of jati in each existence. Only when there is no more rebirth will there be total release from these infliction. So Buddha had taught that the very origination of new existence, jati, is suffering. So in every existence, we have to encounter suffering. If there is no jati, there will be no dukkha. So originations of new existence, jati is dukkha. So in every existence, we have to encounter dukkha. Dukkha is encountered in every existence. Can you follow me? Dukkha is encountered in every existence. Dukkha is encountered in every existence. Dukkha is encountered in every existence. Can you recite 3 times? Dukkha is encountered in every existence. Dukkha is encountered in every existence. Dukkha is encountered in every existence. No jati, no dukkha. No jati, no dukkha. No jati, no dukkha. Can you recite? No jati, no dukkha. No jati, no dukkha. No jati, no dukkha. If there is jati, there will come dukkha. So if you practice completely, and jati will stop, and there will be no dukkha, no suffering. So origination of new existence, jati is dukkha. Can you follow me? Therefore, originations of new existence is dukkha. Therefore, originations of new existence, jati is dukkha. Therefore, originations of new existence, jati is dukkha. So also Buddha uttered dukkha jati puna punan. painful is jati again and again. Immediately after his enlightenment, Buddha uttered words expressing that he has destroyed craving, which is the builder of the house, which is the builder of the khanda, which is the builder of the aggregates. So there is no rebirth for him after enlightenment. So those utterances are recorded in the Dhammapada. Some teachers said that Buddha did not utter them aloud, but some teachers said that Buddha said them to himself in silence. But other teachers said that Buddha did utter these words. When a person gets free from some bondage, or a prisoner gets free from prison, he will naturally be very happy. When he is happy, then he will say something about the bondage he had been in. In the same way, the Buddha, when he became the Buddha, got free from the bondage of existence. That means Buddha will not be reborn, although the present aggregates will remain until his death. So Buddha was so happy that he had got out of this bondage of dukkha, the bondage of aggregates. Buddha was so happy that he uttered the words out of joy. He was unable to keep them inside, so he had to let them out. These verses are recorded in the Dhammapada. In our country, we use these verses as a consecration of Buddha images and Nikajati ceremony. Then we want to have a consecration ceremony of Buddha images. The Sangha recite these verses along with other saying of the Buddha. So we have to recite these verses. Can you open your book? Uttanagata, read page 142, 142. Uttanagata, joyful utterance, uttered by Buddha. Can you follow me? Anika jati samsaram, santa vaisa anibisam, kakaranga vaisanto, dukkha jati puna punam, kakaraka detosi, puna gehana gahesi. Sabba deva sukha bega kagudan visingatam visingara gatan jaitam tanana gayami jaga. Again, aneka jati samsaram santa visa anibisam kakaranga visanto dukkha jati puna punam Kakaraka Detasi Punagaya Nagahesi Sabate Pasuka Bega Kakuta Visingata Visingala Gatan Jaitan Tanana Kayami Jaga. We recite together. Nega jati sansaram Santa Vesa Anibisam Kagaranga Vesanda Doga jati Puna Puna Garaga Detasi Puna Gayana Gahesi Savadeva Zuka Bega Kaguta Visingatan Visingara Gatan Jeta Tanana Gayami Jaga. Again. Anika Jati Samsaram Samta Vesa Nivisam Kagaranga Vesanda Doga Jati Puna Puna Kagaraga Detasi Unagehana Gahesi Savadeva Suga Vega Kaguta Visingata Visingaragata Jeta Tanana Gayami Jaga. Translation, follow me. Through the continuous cycles of birth, I wandered, not finding, although having looked for the house builder, sorrowful is repeated births. O house builder, you are seen. You shall build no house again. All your reptiles are broken. The rich poor is destroyed. The mind reached the unconditioned. Achieve the end of craving. Can you read together? Through the continuous cycles of birth, I wander not finding, although having looked for the house builder, is repeated birth. You shall build no house again, all your reptiles are broken, the rich poor is destroyed, the mind reach the unconditioned, achieve it the end of craving. So Buddha uttered jati, dukkha jati puna punan. Painful is repeated birth. Painful is repeated jati. So through many a birth in samsara, wonder-eyed, seeking but not finding the builder of the house. So Buddha compare his jati, Buddha compare his rebirth, Buddha compare his existence and also his aggregates to a house. Then Buddha was seeking the builder of the house. Who is the builder? Builder of the house, builder of the aggregates, builder of suffering. But Buddha did not find the builder of the house for many, many lives. The builder of the house, the builder of the suffering was what? The builder of the house, the builder of suffering is craving, dana. So Buddha was looking for this craving for many, many lives. Since he could not find the builder of the house, he had to be reborn again and again. Having to be reborn again and again is sorrowful. Having to be reborn again and again is painful. So Buddha said, Dukkha jati punna punnan. Sorrowful is jati, painful is rebirth again and again. And Buddha said, O house builder, now you are seeing. You shall build no house again. In the future, you will not build any house for me, Buddha said. All your rafters are broken, the ridgepole is shattered, and all the other mental defilements along with you are destroyed. Ridgepole means ignorance, avijja, not knowing the Four Noble Truths. Avijja, ignorance, is like the pinnacle of the ridgepole. That ridgepole is also shattered. That means that all mental defilements, including avijja and tanha, ignorance and craving, are shattered. Defilements, including ignorance and craving, are broken. And Buddha added, my mind has attained the unconditioned. Unconditioned means nibbana. My mind has gone to nibbana, or my mind has taken nibbana as object. Achieve is the end of craving. The end of craving has been achieved. So there will be no more craving for the Buddha. There will be no more suffering for the Buddha. If there are no more craving, there will be no more rebirths, there will be no more jati. So these are the verses that Buddha uttered immediately after his enlightenment. And Buddha said that this is my last rebirth, this is my last jati, and there will be no more jati, no more rebirth for me. So it is very inspiring. Dukkha jati punna punnan. Painful is birth again and again. Now you try to find out the kinds of suffering, the kinds of dukkha, the five aggregates subject to clinging as called dukkha, because they are constantly oppressed by rise and fall, noting the rising and falling of the domain, its beer and despair, thinking, planning, imagining, perceiving, all mental state you note it, all despair, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral feeling, all sensation you note it, they disappear finally. The more you note, the more they disappear. Stretching, bending, etc. You note every activities appear and disappear. So all seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and knowing, all psychophysical phenomena occurring at the six senses, You observe and they disappear. Then you see more and more the five aggregates are called dukkha because they are constantly oppressed by rise and fall. And also the five aggregates are the basic of suffering. They are the seeds of suffering. And because they are five aggregates, they are minor matter, and there is the suffering. And as we ourselves are the five aggregates, we suffer. So the first noble truth, first Buddha mentioned that jati be dukkha, path is suffering. And other suffering we will continue tomorrow. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing Vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, may you understand the true nature of dukkha, because they are constantly oppressed by rise and fall. May you eradicate the cause of suffering, that is craving and mental defilements. May you realize the Tat Noble Truth, cessations of suffering. May you develop the Eightfold Path, that is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. May all meditators be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.